I'll take in all your
episode of your too poor for the machine shop. This crank out of my small block 302. There's the block, there's the heads, there's the car it belongs to. This is my Project Phoenix. This is my 90 GT convertible. I tore the engine apart, and unfortunately this crank journal, I don't know if it'll show up on camera, looks like it, but that right there, yep, my fingernail catches on it. So we're polishing the crank. I already did this one and this one. This crank's not really that bad, so I started with 800, then went to 1,000, and I'm finishing up with 1,200. I may go to the 1,500, which is the next one I got. $7. It's a lot better than a couple $100 at the machine shop. I'm hoping this right here doesn't cause too much of a problem. That way I don't have to have the crank turned, because I have no way to do that. So, and it would take fucking forever with sandpaper. So we'll see. So I'm just going to set the camera over to the side. I'm going to pick a journal, probably this one. I'll just have the camera on it. You don't need to see my fat fucking face. And I'll show you how to do this. There's other videos on YouTube to see how to do it if you don't like mine. So first thing you do is wet your sandpaper, wet your journal, and again, wet your journal. Journal doesn't look too bad. But you take the sandpaper, wrap it around the journal, overlap it, get you a shoestring. Yes, a shoestring or something the size of a shoestring works best. I tried to, you want to grab that rope over there for me? I'm hanging on the handle of the engine hoist. I tried to use that kind of rope. It's like a big, thick kind of paracord kind of rope. Yeah, that doesn't work. It binds up the sandpaper, and then it's hard to get it to turn. Another way you can do this is to get some tape and tape it down, but that's kind of a pain in the ass, and then you can't really reuse your pieces of sandpaper, because you don't really need new pieces every time, because you're really not going to sand this that much, especially on something like mine. Mine is not really that bad. The worst spot is that journal, which you can't see. That journal right there. But that's the worst spot. So just get it sort of even. Get it on there like that. Pull taut on both of them. You try not to pull the crank off of wherever you've got it sitting, because you're a dumbass like me. That should keep it from rolling. And then you just back and forth. Like this. And then to make sure the pressure's even, just move the shoelaces around the journal. I don't necessarily think you need to do that. That's why you wrap it around twice. But this is old school hot rod shit here. So you start with 800. Wipe it down. Take a look at it. Not looking too bad. Move to the next one up, which is for me 1,000. Couple seconds. I don't need a whole lot, so I'll just do mine for a couple seconds. If yours is worse, then you do it for a couple minutes. That's really fucking good, honestly. There's one that's done. There's one that's done. There's one that's not done. Not done. Done. Not done. They're not horrible. They got some staining on them. I want to get rid of that. This is the problem child. So this is the problem child. We'll be trying to get that one worked out. So, bummer. The crank might be junk. So not only is the crank junk, the lifters are junk, the camshaft is junk. This hinge ran. So this is money I wasn't planning on having to spend on this build. Yeah, I could buy another car for a couple grand, buy an engine, throw it in. The transmission in the car is good. I know that because it's only got like 10,000 miles on it after it was rebuilt. But I could do that. But it wouldn't be the same. Yeah. This is a 25th anniversary edition. This was my mother's car. And, you know, she's gone. And her and my dad ran around in this thing and had a bunch of fun in it. And I'm trying to get it up to snuff for my dad to give it back to him on his 65th birthday and let him cruise it around and just enjoy it and, you know, relive some of those days with my mom and maybe make some new memories with his new girlfriend. But, you know, that's why I'm doing this car is got sentimental value to me and I'm already this far in, so I'm gonna fucking see it to the end. But stick around for the ride and you know, maybe you'll get to see that episode hopefully where I drop it off to my dad and he gets to fire it up and take off in it, because that's what I'm pushing towards. And I'm close. I'm real close. So all right, peace guys.